Welcome again to Walks with Walt. It's spring here, and spring means cutting the grass, pruning, hoeing the garden, and all that means tools, and tools means taking care of tools. I was looking at my tools the other day and thought of two scriptures, iron sharpens iron from Proverbs, and also in James, letter of James, corrosion will be a witness against us. So I wanted to talk about that for a few minutes, so let's take a walk to the shed. Before we start talking about the verses, I just want to keep on our radar that there's only two things that God asks us to do. One is to worship Him, which means to tell Him that we're thankful for what He's given us and explain who He is, that He's a great God. And then the other thing is that we're supposed to tell other people that God loves them and help reconcile them to God. So we need to keep that on our radar anytime we're talking. So back to the verses and the tools. In James, the verse that says, corrosion will be a witness against us. Here's a swing blade that I have, and it hangs on a nail in my shed, and I never use it. And so you can tell there's a lot of corrosion on this swing blade because I never use it. I think a lot of us have spiritual tools hanging in our shed that are resources and gifts and talents that God has given us that we never use for His glory. They just hang there and they just get rusted over time. So that's the first verse that occurred to me looking at my tools the other day. The other verse, iron sharpens iron as a friend sharpens a friend. We all need to spend time in Bible studies and Sunday school and reading the Bible, sharpening our faith up. But as I was looking at my axe the other day, I thought, how much time do I spend sharpening my axe, and how much time do I spend using my axe for the job it was built for? That made me think, in my own spiritual life, how much time am I spending reading the Bible and doing Bible studies, which are important things, but how much time am I spending those compared to the amount of time that I spend serving God and doing His work that He was prepared for me to do? So I have two challenges for you. One is to look at the corrosion as a witness against you. What are some things, some resources, gifts that you have in your spiritual shed that need to be pulled down and put to use for God's glory and for His kingdom? And the other thing is iron sharpens iron. Take a minute to compare the time that you spend in Bible studies and reading the Bible, and even in prayer, which are great things and you have to do those. But how much time do you spend in those compared with the time that you're actually doing the work that God has called you to do as far as praising Him and reconciling people to Him, showing people that He really does love them. So there's a couple of challenges for you and for me. I'm having to reallocate a lot of my time because I love to spend time sitting in my office or my study, studying the Bible and studying theology and reading the Bible. So a couple of challenges for you and a big challenge for me. So I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me.